Alright, picking up where we left off here, let's kind of zoom in. We're going to draw a set of chained walls here. It's important to recognize the thickness of these walls. Let's change this to be 6 inches. And you can see along the bottom edge here we have 5 feet, 6 feet going up, and then 7 feet over. It's important to note that that's not measuring this distance up here. If we measure that distance up there, it's actually going to be 6 inches less at 4'6". So when we draw these walls, what we want to be is drawing along the bottom edge here. So we're on the bottom edge here. If I can sort of draw an example here, click and going to the left here, you can see if I zoom in, we're on the bottom edge here. Now if I'm drawing in the opposite direction, notice I'm on the top edge going this way. I'm going to hit escape. So when we take a look up here, notice there's a little arrow going to the right. So if we're going to the right, we're going to be drawing along the bottom edge there. So let's draw this wall here. I'm going to start by left clicking, drag out to the right, 5 feet. Let's go up 6 feet, and over to the right, 7 feet. And I'll just hit enter again to finish this wall out. So I'm just typing in numbers and hitting enter every time. I'm not clicking. The only time I'm clicking is this very first point here. So let's draw this one here where you can see we're being dimensioned along the top edge here. So I'm going to flip things over, go down, and I'll describe exactly what I'm doing. I'm left clicking, dragging to the right, typing in 5, enter. Going up, 6, enter. Going off to the right here, 7, enter, and then enter again to finish the command. Similarly, if we're drawing rectangular walls, this reference line will also be important. So I'm going to go back over here, left click, and go into our rectangular geometry mode here. Now with our rectangular geometry, if I click and I start to draw our set of 4 walls, notice I'm drawing on the inside. That's going to be useful for drawing this one down here. You see we're dimensioning from 10 feet and 6 feet from the inside, but not this one up here. So right in the middle of drawing, I can go up and flip things over, and you can see now I'm drawing from the outside. And all I have to do is, you can see that first dimension there is just from left to right, and then the second one's up and down. So I can just type in 10, tab, 6, enter. And that's going to make my wall. To do the second one here, remember we were just drawing that, but we were in this mode here. And again, I just draw out, left click, drag down and to the right, could be up and to the right, up and to the left, down and to the left. It doesn't really matter, but if we want it to end up down here, we want to go down and to the right. So first dimension, 10, tab, 6, enter. And there we have it. Our rotated rectangle here is similar to our angled walls, where the first thing we draw is basically this edge here, enter the angle, and then this edge up here. You'll see how this works. Wall, and I'll left click to start. I'll kind of, oh, we need to be in the right mode here. And it doesn't matter that I've already started to draw the wall. I can go up here, switch modes, and all I have to do is type in the length here. My length is going to be, let's see here, 8 feet, 8, and I'm going to hit tab to go down to the angle. The angle is going to be 33 degrees. Hit enter, and you can see now we're in business here, and now we can just enter this last distance. Oh, and you can see that I'm drawing on the inside, but again, doesn't matter. Right in the middle of the command, I can go up, change it, and enter this last dimension here, 6. One thing I've noticed, though, is I think that when I drew these other guys, I was at 6 inches. And yes, I was, and I should have been at 5.5 inches. So that's not a big deal. Since we drew these things correctly, I can just hold down Shift while I'm in the arrow tool, and let's go down and hold down Shift and select all these walls. Let's see, and while they're selected, we're just going to go up and type in 5.5 inches, hit enter, and it's going to resize. And since we drew these walls correctly, meaning our reference line was on the right side, they're going to expand or contract away from the reference line. So if I can go in here, select this wall, you know that these outer dimensions are correct. So if we entered something large, like, I don't know, 2 feet or something, you can see our walls become 2 feet thick, but our dimensions don't change with regards to the reference line. So I'm just going to go back and correct that 5.5 inches. Click out of there. This one was drawn right because it's at 6 inches and we were at 6 inches over here. Now these circles and these arcs here, let's draw these out. So wall tool, I think we're all at 6 inches here. And so we're still at 6 inches. We're going to go into this first mode here. Notice we've got 3 of them. We're in the first one. And our thickness is 6 inches. I'm just going to click right on the end of this line here. Drag out, type in 4 because that's our radius, 4, enter. Now at this point I could scribe out just a portion of our circle, or I can just click where I clicked in the beginning, or I should say my second click there, and it will make a complete circle. Likewise, our arc by 3 points here is just that. We're going to go inside, choose this mode here, and when we click these 3 points in here, it's going to draw a circle. Click a 4th time, whose edge is along those 3 points there. So this can be very handy. This one's also handy. If we want to draw, say, a circle that's just barely touching these lines here, it's at a tangent to these lines, and we have a third reference here, which is a point. Let's go up, get inside, and I'm going to left-click this line, we're going to left-click this line, and we're going to click here, and then we're going to click to the inside here, and that's going to create our circle, which is barely touching these lines and going through this third point here. So, in the next video we're going to get into trapezoid walls.